So Mr. Cleary is going to be taking away the session today. He's going to be talking to us about an introduction to the human body and mind. So today you're going to need your own body, which I think we all brought today, right? Everybody bring their body today? All right, guys. Like I said, if you have any questions, please put them in the chat. Myself and Mr. Jake will be checking the chat. We'll be, reading your questions to Mr. Cleary, and we're going to have a really great day. Later this morning, we're going to have Mr. Sheik join us live from the Franklin Institute. So I just wanted to remind everybody, we'll have that 10-minute break from 10:50 to 11, and then we'll jump in with Mr. Sheik. I will talk to you guys soon.
All right. See, Spencer lost his mind, but that's fine. We'll help you find that hopefully today. I know that today we have the Franklin Institute coming in and giving us a tour, and I knew that because I've been to the Franklin Institute. I live near Philly. The big attraction at the Franklin Institute is the giant heart, and that got me thinking about like the human body and some things I can throw in about the human mind, because those are very closely related. Your thoughts relate to your actions, and also the things that you interpret around you relate to what you eventually think. So show of hands here, who has a body? Okay, good. I see most people do, and there's a couple people where I'm not seeing your bodies, but I'm going to assume you have one too. All right, and I think everyone is hearing me all right. So I have some what are called illusions. An illusion is something that is going to trick you into believing something that may not be true. So there are a few different kinds of illusions we'll look at today. There's some physical illusions we might try with our bodies. There are optical illusions that what you see may not be what is actually occurring. And I have even an example of an auditory illusion for you hearing something that is not true. And if somebody's spamming in the chat, we're just going to delete those messages and make sure that if you continue that, then you are going to be moved to another room, because you
Guys,
cannot have that.
let's not try to spam the chat because I can't see what questions are being asked. Okay, thank you.
Yeah, it is very distracting. So your body can sense many things, but sometimes it senses just the wrong thing. So here's another basic one we're going to try with our bodies. And let me back up to this one. Right now, maybe I should turn my screen share off for a moment, just so everybody can see me. Right now, what I would like you to do, hold your arms in front of you like so. And when you turn your hands, so your thumbs are pointed down. Good, everyone's with me so far. And then cross your arms and lace your fingers together. Now turn your hands upward like this. And from here, now that you're all twisted up, lift your left index finger. Or your left pointer finger. It may have taken you, and if you have your finger up, unhold, release your hand. You should have your left finger up. Is there anybody who had their right finger up? Because once you have your arms all twisted together, it can be very hard to remember which arm is left and which arm is right. You can try that again. And this time you can try holding up your right finger. Your right finger is probably a bit easier if you're right-handed. Was there anyone who lifted the wrong finger your first time? Oh wait, cannot see my message.
I did. Anybody else?
Good. I got a couple people there.
Yeah, that was fun.
All right, let's go to our next example. This is an optical illusion. Take a look at this picture. Move your eyes scan across it. Do you see the picture moving? Well, that is an illusion. Nothing about this picture is moving. It's just a picture. It's not a GIF or anything. It is just the way that the squigglies are on the page kind of tricks your eyes into thinking it should move. And I find I can make it move a bit faster when I scan my eyes across the image versus just staring at one spot. If you stare at one spot, it will slow down. Yeah, exactly. If you focus, then it will stop.
Is anybody getting dizzy from looking at it? Mine's moving all over. Nate's not getting dizzy.
Okay, good. I have some more of these and other similar optical illusions coming up later. Let's continue. So this is another optical illusion that you can create for yourself by using the trick of our own depth perception. I always thought of it as a little floating finger you can make and appear in front of your eyes, a magical finger that is not actually there. What you want to do is you want to simply place your fingers in front of your eyes, and don't look at your fingers, look straight ahead at the camera. And where the fingers kind of intersect in your vision, there should be a small floating finger, almost like a sausage shape, right in front of your eyes. If you don't see it, you're probably looking at your fingers, so just look straight ahead. So why would you be seeing this in front of you when you hold your fingers in front of your eyes like this? Needs to be two fingers. One finger, you'll just see one finger.
Who's saying it?
Demo it right now. So you can kind of make it larger if you put your fingers together, or smaller if you pull your fingers apart.
Ooh.
A little bit. Why might you be seeing this?
Why are we seeing it? Because I have a third finger up? Why are we seeing it? Nate sees it. Abby said your body is thinking of one thing, but it is the wrong thing.
Well, we have two eyes because we like to see things, and it helps us see things in 3 dimensions, like how far away something is. So when you have your fingers up close, one finger is covering the other eye, the other finger is covering your second eye, and then your brain combines the 2 images that it sees from both of your eyes. So where those images of your fingers kind of cross each other, that looks to be like some floating finger. If you gotta hold it, and then if you look straight at your fingers, you just see 2 fingers, but you gotta let your eyes just look straight ahead, off in the distance.
If
So
anybody's wearing glasses like myself, it might be easier if you just lift your glasses and do it. It works a lot better without your glasses on. So my friend Spencer, you might want to try that if it's not working for you. When I took off my glasses, it was so much easier.
And we will have another optical illusion that works with this same concept too. Yeah, I think it'll work with glasses, but it's probably easier without. Here's your next optical illusion image. This one was a very viral trend. I know some people may recognize this. Well, I know some people are young enough that maybe you haven't seen this one before. So just tell me, what color is this dress?
We're having yellow and white, purple and gold, white and gold, blue.
The dress that I have pictured here, I'm getting like different colors for different answers. You guys all should be looking at the same image, right?
Does everybody see the dress in the middle of the screen? Yeah, okay. Gold and white, gold and white. Lots of gold and white. Somebody said blue and white. Any other colors? Blue and black. Somebody said light gray and gold. Somebody said brown, purple and gold.
So
Blue and gold.
personally, I have only ever been able to see white and gold.
Same.
This picture is not inverted. This is not digitally edited in any way. The actual colors of this dress are black and blue. The black is what looks like white, and the blue is what looks like gold. I can only ever see it white and gold though. But if you are seeing black and blue, congratulations, you are seeing the true colors of this dress. This is a particularly interesting optical illusion because there's a lot of light behind this dress, and that kind of skews our perception of what the colors actually are. Now, mind you, everybody's looking at the same dress, so some people are seeing different colors than you are. Nope, unedited. Yeah, and Laura says you've only ever seen black and blue. So some people just see different colors depending on how our brains work and kind of which side or what colors we're kind of tuned into. I know some people have been able to like see it and like switch back and forth, like they can see white and gold and then see blue and black. I haven't figured out how to do it myself.
Yeah, Gabriella, that's what she just said. She now sees blue.
Good.
All right.
So this one sparked a huge debate on the internet, and I think it was 2015 about what color the dress was. It was like, are you team white and gold, or are you team blue and black? White and gold was apparently the wrong team because it came out later that it was a blue and black dress.
We're on the wrong team. How many campers have known about this dress before we just talked about it? Anybody? Laura saw it before? Desiree? Okay, I was just curious because I completely forgot about it until Mr. Cleary just put it up, and I still got it wrong.
Oh, good.
Great job, guys. Great job, campers.
This was an internet trend several years ago. We got a younger audience, so I thought surely there'd be some people here who was unfamiliar. What does it mean to see black and blue? It means you're just seeing the colors that are there. If you see white and gold, that means that your brain is being tricked by the what we call the contrast, how different the colors are from each other. Your brain is being tricked by the contrast of the dress in the background. All right, so for this one, you're going to have to stand up. So the directions are to lean against a wall. It also works very well in a door frame. And try and lift your arms up and then step away from the wall. So let me turn my screen share off. I can demo this. All you're going to do is you're going to lean against the wall and try and lift the arm that is against the wall. Try and lift that one up. You're not going to be able to lift it because it's against the wall. But you're going to be putting some pressure against the wall with your arm. Try and lift your arm while you're leaning against the wall. And just hold this position. So you're going to have to stand up, find a nearby wall. If you have to step off camera, that's fine. I see some people stepping away, leaning against the wall now. Great. And just hold that position for maybe about 30 seconds. Give it a little bit of time.
I see a lot of empty screens, which means a lot of people are standing against the wall.
All right, now after you've been trying to lift your arm for a while, hold your arms straight out in front of you. And many of you probably, whether you hold your hands out in front of you or maybe you had one arm lifting, but you probably felt this phantom force lifting the arm that you had pressured against the wall. Did you feel that? It felt like your arm was just lifting by itself.
Right, Gideon. Right. So everybody has a magic arm is what you're saying? No magic arm?
I am taking control of everybody's arms with my psychic power. No. It is another trick of the brain. When your brain is trying to lift this arm without resistance, it assumes that having that much pressure to lift your arm is kind of like the new norm or the default. And then all of a sudden, when there's no resistance, your arm has to adjust to stay in the same position. You're not going to be able to lift your arm through the wall, but once you step away from the wall, hold your hands out in front of you, and then one arm should slightly lift upwards, or at least feel like it. Not only have I tricked you into seeing things, I've tricked you into feeling things that are not true as well. There we go. All right, and if you're done, come back and have a seat. I see some empty cameras still, so I'll wait till everyone gets back.
Oh, I see a lot of our campers are coming back.
Does not work. Try the other arm perhaps, or try lifting your arm as hard as possibly can. But let me see. I need several more people to come back, have a seat before I continue.
Come on back, campers. We can try that again later, okay? Well, maybe we'll try with the other arm later if we have some free time.
And because everybody's different, not every trick will work for every person too, unfortunately.
And sometimes you just have to try it more than once, maybe.
Yeah. All right, here's another image that is very similar to our first one, where if you stare at it, it looks like all these circles are spinning, but this is yet another still image where nothing is spinning at all.
How many people, how many campers feel like it's spinning? The wheels are spinning. Abby, yes, it's spinning for me. Any other campers feel like the wheels are spinning? Nate, Kenny.
And somebody said, if you focus on like one dot on this picture, it doesn't spin. But if you move your eyes around, it looks like they're all turning like gears.
Yes, Danielle, like very slowly, it looks like. Matthew sees it.
Nothing is moving in this image.
Mr. Cleary's playing a lot of tricks on us, huh?
All right, so this is not so much an optical illusion as much as is an optical tricks about how your eyes work. So I'm going to once again go back and do this. Your eyes have the ability to adjust to light by doing what's called a dilation. So your eyes will open up, or your pupil will open up or close up depending on how much light is there. And I think this will be a really cool trick. If we get everybody to lean in and look at your camera so that your eye is right against your camera, right? And then I want everybody close your eyes very tightly so you see very, very dark. Wait about 10 seconds. And then when I say so, I want everybody to open their eyes and stare at the camera and then look at everyone else's eyes on screen. You should see your eyes move. Ready? 3, 2, 1. You see your pupil get smaller? It was really big and then it got smaller. And that is because when it's very dark, our eyes will dilate to let in more light. When it's very light, we don't need as much light in our eyes, so your pupils will get smaller and it will constrict. If you didn't see it on your eyes, you can see it again on my eye. I'll do it again. 3, 2, 1. You'll see my pupil change size.
Whoa.
You could probably also see it when you wake up, even in the morning.
Oh,
Yeah.
You have to go look in the mirror, and your pupils are probably going to be gigantic, right? Isn't that how it works?
Yes. If you're in like a dark bathroom and you're looking in a mirror and then you turn on the light, you will see your pupils change color with the light. So you might not be able to see this easily because you can't look at your webcam and the video at the same time, but you can look in a mirror And you can see your pupils change color after you close them very tightly for a few seconds.
Has anybody ever been to the eye doctor and had their eyes dilated? That might be something that you do more like when you're in, middle school or high school or in as an adult, but they put these funny little drops in your eyes and they dilate your eyes so they can check to make sure you have healthy eyes. And, that's just one way that you can dilate them.
All right, so I had another optical illusion I wanted to share. I wanted to give a warning because this one does have some flashing in it. So if you're sensitive to that one, you may have to look away for a moment. But here we have two cubes. Which direction are these cubes spinning?
Does everybody see them spinning? Abby said left and Gideon said in, spinning in.
All right, so they're actually, they might both be spinning the same direction or different directions. Somebody said they're spinning inwards.
Yes. Somebody said opposite.
Whoa. Hold up a second.
Yeah.
Which way?
They're not spinning. They can't, are they spinning?
No, they are not spinning at all.
What?
Yeah, those aren't spinning. And it took me like a while.
In fact, if you can see my mouse, if I hover my mouse over the corner of one of the edges of the cube, you see that the mouse doesn't actually, my mouse disappears, but you see my mouse doesn't actually move relative to the corner of the cube because the cube is not moving. Same with this one. Neither of them are spinning. It looks like they're spinning because of that flashing background and the colors of the cube, but they are not. They're stationary.
I was waiting for the perspective to eventually show the front of the cube, but like a full front view of the cube, and it never happened. So I'm like, wait a second here.
Yes,
Nate,
it is
you're right.
the lights that you see.
Wow.
And it has to do with the light flashing and kind of like the outline of the cube kind of makes it look like it's turning when it is not. All right, and we'll come back to the heart rate one because I want to make sure we have enough time here. But here's another illusion. I want you to take account how many red, green, and blue spheres do you see here? Okay, so four of each color. They're all the same. They're changing colors.
Yeah, I thought they were changing too. Who said that? And I was wondering, I don't see blue.
Really? Because I thought this one, this one, this one, and this one were blue at first.
And
I thought there were 4 each. 4 colors or 4 wait a second.
I know.
Turns out none of them are red, green, or blue.
Oh my gosh.
One has green lines going across it, and this sphere looks green. But then if you look at the actual color, it is the same color in the background as this one right here, is the red one. So they are not changing colors, but they're all kind of a tannish color if you look very closely at the sphere itself.
Kenny said he knew it. He knew that these colors weren't on there. So Kenny, way to go, because I was looking really hard for blue. Nate, we didn't get you, I know.
All right, here's another one that, and unfortunately, you're going to need a partner for this one. I don't have a partner, but I can demo for it. So if you have something like a ruler works best, but if you have any other object, I've seen people use a dollar bill for this because it's very tempting to snag a dollar bill from your friend. But
then you're going to give it back, obviously.
Right, of course. And then you're going to have your partner hold an object like a ruler or a stick of some sort, and you're just going to hold your fingers down below it, right by the base, ready to catch it. Now, if you were doing this yourself, if you dropped your ruler, you'll probably catch it right away. But if your partner drops it, you might find that it falls straight through your fingers into the ground.
We have so many helpers coming on screen. So if you guys aren't sure, there are a lot of campers on screen who have a helper, so we could watch them if you don't have a helper of your own.
And if you are watching this by yourself, then like me, you'll just have to try it yourself, but you're going to succeed every single time. If you have a partner drop the object and you try and catch it between your fingers, then you will probably miss or come close to missing. So why is this so much easier to do by yourself versus with a partner?
Why do we think it's easier, guys, to catch it yourself as opposed to having a partner? Because you won't know when it will happen, when it will drop? Abby's not sure. Me either, I'm not sure.
Well, Miguel and Alejandro, you pretty much nailed it. If you are dropping it yourself, you know exactly when it's going to drop, so you can react to it immediately. Whereas if a partner is dropping it, they are dropping it, and then your brain has to be able to, you have to see it first. Your brain has to process the image, the movement. Your brain has to process the reaction. And by the time your brain does all that work, the object has already fallen through your fingers and you've missed the catch. So really fun trick to do, especially if you have like a $20 bill. You can say like, you can have this $20 bill if you can just catch it between your fingers, and then you watch your partner fail to catch your $20 bill and get really frustrated.
That's happened to me before. Now that you say that, it's very, very good game.
It seems so easy to do. You just catch something someone else is dropping, but you have to react very quickly. Most people cannot react that quickly.
We are learning some very cool things today, campers. I'm having so much fun. How about you guys?
I hope you're enjoying my tricks. Here's another optical illusion. This one, you might have to stare at the screen. Stare at the black dot in the middle of the screen and don't move your eyes, don't blink. Just stare at this, just the black dot in the middle. Don't focus on any of the other ones. And what happens to those pink dots?
It looks like a screen is loading. The dots are turning green. What else is happening when you stare at that black dot? A lot of they turn green. Do all of the circles turn green at once, or do they go two at a time? What are you guys seeing?
I also find if I stare at this for long enough, not only do they turn green, but the dots will disappear if I focus on it enough. It does look like a loading screen, doesn't it? But the dots are not changing color. They're just appearing and then disappearing. The green is because sometimes your brain will get rid of unnecessary information when it is trying to focus on something. And the unnecessary information is being kind of that color change. There's still some green pixels in there after those dots appear or disappear. So we'll still see some green in there when we see this dots moving around. I found this one to be my favorite of the visual illusions to look at.
So how many campers saw the green dot, and then when Mr. Cleary mentioned there was no green dot, then they stopped seeing the green dot? That's what happened to me. I was seeing it, and now I'm staring, and I'm not.
It takes a while to stare. And if you like move your eyes or focus in any way, then they all go back to being pink.
Yes. William, you agree? Yes. Abby, you're still seeing green? What, anybody else? Anybody seeing anything different?
Oh, really, Desiree? That's interesting. No, it's not a bad thing. It's an illusion made so that you see green. It doesn't mean that something's wrong. It's just made that way to trick your brain. Yes, and now they might disappear.
Yes, none of these, if some of these things don't work for you, it doesn't mean anything's wrong with you. It just means that your brain doesn't get tricked that easily.
Some optical illusions and physical illusions were better for some people than other people. I know some people said the floating arm trick wasn't working for them, and that can happen. All right, moving on. Oh, here's a really fun one. I know you guys don't have mic privileges, but even though I cannot hear you, I would like you to say the color out loud for these next few images. Now, when I show you an image, there's going to be a word in a specific color. I don't want you to read the word. I want you to tell me the color of the text, okay? Here we go. Say it out loud. Red.
Yellow, purple.
Not the text. Tell me the color that is.
I messed it up, guys.
No, whoops, went too far. Now, like you heard, you might have said the actual word and not the color. So you should be saying something like green here and not blue. Did you find yourself saying the wrong thing?
How many people said the right thing? Raise your hand. I can't raise mine. Abby, William, Danielle, you guys, none of you guys got tricked? Oh, that's some.
I will try it one more time. This time I'm going to go a bit faster. Say the color that you see out loud, not reading the text. I'm going to speed it up this time. Ready? Starting now.
Red, blue, red, yellow, red, no, blue.
Sound like you were struggling there for a bit.
It did. Kenny, you did it. Good job. Anybody else? JD did it. Danielle thought it was easy.
Good. Some people might find this easier than others.
You campers are way too good at this.
For my next example, I have something called forced perspective. These are all pictures that we're taking that don't quite look as they should. Here we have some giant pigeons. Here we have a baby with a man's face. And here we have a really creepy looking eyeball. That's not actually what's going on in any of these pictures, is it? Do you know what's going on in each of these pictures? Or normal pigeons with toy cars, yeah. A man-child, yeah.
Yes. Oh, that's what size your pigeon
Oh,
armpits
Spencer
are?
found this one out. It's not a toilet, but this one is actually a sink drain on the far right that looks like an eyeball.
Oh.
As far as the baby's head, the baby is wearing the sunglasses and his head kind of cuts off here, but the man who's holding him, his nose and his mouth extend further out and they kind of blend in here. So it looks like it's one face when it is two.
So if you take your finger and you cover the gentleman's nose and mouth, then you can see the child. But if I don't do that, I still see the man child, as one of the campers said.
Yeah, I can't zoom in on this, unfortunately. As far as the pigeons, you can see the ledge for the pigeons right here. The ledge just blends in with the pavement, so it looks like you have either giant pigeons or small cars. When really the pigeons are just a lot closer than the cars are. So again, these photos have not been altered in any way. These are just regular photos that look weird because of some of the angles they have.
JD said that you're confused. Some of them can be confusing. And then I feel like once you see what we're talking about, like how the one all the way on the right is the drain, then you can't unsee it, as they say. The one in the middle is a little bit more difficult. I still see the man child unless I use my finger. So
Yeah, that one is hard to see the baby's face.
If you look at the pigeon one, like you could see the texture of what they're standing on is completely different with the texture of the ground where the cars are parked. You can see that kind of like them hanging around on that edge. I was just kidding about that being the Pittsburgh breed of pigeon, but
All right, and I think I have one more. This one I asked you, if you have a piece of paper, you don't need to do any kind of crazy crafts. Just roll up a piece of paper. And you're gonna kind of make a telescope. You don't need to tape it, just hold it like so. And I can pause my screen too. That's convenient. Which I need that one. So for this one, you're going to hold one up to your eye, your telescope, and you're going to take your hand and you're going to slowly move it across into the piece of paper. Do you have a hole in your hand?
What?
Because right now it looks like I'm seeing through my hand. You can try it with your other eye too. One eye may work better than the other.
okay, I got it. Yeah, that's pretty cool. I like
you through my
it.
hand.
Wild. Remember, guys, you don't close your second eye. You keep both your eyes open, right?
Yeah, don't follow what Miss
Keep
Heather
both
is
your eyes
doing.
open. Put the telescope on one side, and then push the hand against the piece of paper. I can see it now. That's creepy. Oh my gosh.
So this is another one where, because you have two eyes and your brain has to take both these images it sees from each eye and put them together. On one eye, you're seeing through your telescope perfectly fine. On the other eye, you're looking at your hand.
Yeah,
And
hold
then
up,
your
guys.
brain combines both those images and it looks like you're seeing through your hand.
Yeah, one more time. So one telescope in the eye, and then the hand, your other hand should go in front of your other eye. Not on this side. Some of you guys are on this side over here, but go from the side where your other eye is, and then
Yeah.
press it up against the side. Have both eyes open.
Oh, see, Miss Heather was really doing it wrong.
So if you're doing it with if you're holding your left, the paper up to your left eye, hold it with your
Like
left
that.
hand, and then your right hand goes over your right eye, and then press it against the paper. I saw some of you holding it the wrong way.
That makes more sense.
And
Oh,
yes, you do have to have both eyes open for this one.
I'm just.
So this works
scrolling through-
similarly to the idea of where we got the floating fingers, because your brain is combining two different images from what you see.
Nate, you see it?
Yeah, a lot, guys. Again, align your hands. Don't hold the paper with your right hand here. Hold it with your left hand, and then line up your hands, and that way you'll get it. So I mean, it's tough. I was doing the same thing you all were doing. It just took me a second to realize it, but
Right. Hey, Spencer, buddy, if you want to get on camera, maybe I can check to see if you're doing it right.
left hand paper,
There you go. Get your rolled up.
right hand over your right eye. Push it against the end of your paper. Yeah, that one's pretty cool.
All right, so now I have our first auditory illusion. This is called a shepherd's tone. I gotta share the right screen here now. So I think if I share the tab, you guys can hear it if I play a video, right? This one's gonna sound really creepy. Let me do a test here first. Can everybody hear that?
No.
We didn't hear it.
How about now? If it doesn't work, I might be able to just provide the link to the YouTube video.
No, I didn't hear it.
Okay, I think I might just give you the link to the video itself. That way I know for sure everyone can listen to it.
There you go.
But just listen to this audio. It goes on for a while, and I'll give you a moment to take a listen to it. And then tell me what you hear.
You guys can start typing in the chat what you think it sounds like. Emily said you feel like the volume's getting louder. Somebody said they think it's a car. Aliens.
It does sound kind of spooky, doesn't it?
Yeah, like E.T.
Pitch is getting higher.
It sounds like you're speeding up.
Well, I saw some people say it's getting higher pitched or louder. But the thing with sound is that you can't keep getting higher and higher pitch forever. At a certain point, it gets too high pitched where we can't pick it up with our ears. So does it just keep getting louder and louder forever? Or higher and higher pitch forever? Yeah, you can turn your volume down. Yeah, I gave you a link. I'll give you the link if anyone missed that. Skip through any ads if you had them. I was hoping to avoid that.
I live near some power plants and towers, and it sounds like the alarm they set off to let you know that, they're just testing towers. That's what it sounded like for me.
Well, the trick with this illusion is that it sounds like the pitch is going up and up and up forever and ever and ever, and it never goes down. And that is not the case. The pitch is going up and then it manages to go back down in pitch without you even realizing. It's called a shepherd's tone. And if you think about you and you kind of focus on, you might be able to pick out where the pitch changes back to the bottom before rising up again. But it's kind of hard to pick out. And you might not notice it if you don't listen to it. I know the pitch does go down. It just tricks you into thinking the pitch is going up forever and ever and ever. It's on repeat, actually.
Right. That makes sense.
Yeah, there's a reason why it was called the shepherd's tone here. All right, so you can close out of that video. Make sure that you don't have that making more noise than I do. Let me go back to my slides, and I want to get into some parts, since this was mind and body, some parts of how the human body works too. Have you ever thought about how you actually move when you contract your muscles? And here I have my diagram of a man walking. And it's this interaction we have where your muscles, they contract. Like if you take your arm, you can flex your bicep. That muscle is going to contract. And that is going to pull on something called a tendon, which is going to connect your muscle to your bones. So in actuality, our muscles move our bones, and our bones are what move our entire body. So if you wave your hands around, I don't actually see everyone's camera. If you wave your arms around, you're moving your muscles and you're moving your body in a similar manner, because those muscles, I stopped my animation. You can see which muscles are contracting as the bones in this diagram move. So to take a closer look at some of the parts of our body, I had here a simulation where we can look at some 3D models. And let me stop my share. So let me give you a link here, and I'm hoping this works out for everybody. You might not have time to take a look at all these diagrams, but we can take a look at some models of what different systems of the body look like in here. So I'm going to go to my first one. Right now, you should be seeing, and I apologize if this one is super spooky, a skeleton. What's cool about this one is that you should be able to click and move the model around and get a closer look at some parts of them. And here's the link once again, if anybody needs it. And I can also just screen share too. It might be easier. So here we have our skeleton. We have quite a few bones. Our rib cage is going to help protect our lungs and our heart. inside of us. What I find particularly interesting is that if I turn this diagram up, yeah, you might have to sign in, it says like with an email address. It's not working. If it's not working, just look at my screen because I had the same thing going on. What I found to be particularly interesting was that the skull is actually a few different pieces that are put together. Because as you grow, your brain is growing, getting larger, your skull has to be able to expand with your skull. And I'm reminded I actually have my own skull. Whoop, careful. I'm going to go back to video real quick here. This is not a model. This is an actual skull that I found while I was hiking in the woods. I believe it to be a fox skull. And you can see these same lines on the very top of the skull, where as the skull grows, it's going to grow along these lines here. So the skull is not like one solid piece, as many people think. It's kind of a bunch of pieces that are put together. Now, the reason I believe this is a fox skull is because it's got some very sharp teeth. And sharp teeth tells me that it eats meat. Foxes are carnivores. And it looks like it's got some big eyes too, and they are these frontward facing eyes. So we also have frontward facing eyes, but we think of like a deer or a rabbit that face off to the side. Frontward facing eyes helps to, if you're a predator, to catch your prey. So you can see how far away they are, but eyes on the side help to see a 360 view to stay away from predator. I know, I got like all the cool stuff. I didn't even buy this. I just found this like hiking in the woods.
Well, evidently I missed the cool rocks and minerals yesterday. I mean, I
Yeah.
want to be in your class.
Yeah, I use this one in my class too. It's pretty fun. So I just got to be very careful with it because it's not like a model. It is a real skull and they're a little delicate. I just paused screen share. I was just holding up my actual skull here. Now, we probably won't have time to get through all of these models. Oh, wait, is somebody drawing on my... Somebody was drawing on my screen. I can't have that.
Oh no, don't draw on the screen, guys.
So here's a diagram of the muscles of the body. And we see we have quite a lot of muscles. In particular, we have a lot of muscles in our face, which might surprise you. And that is because we are very expressive. You can move your face in a lot of different ways. You can smile, you can frown, you can like be able to wiggle your eyebrows. I can wiggle my ears. We have all kinds of these facial expressions to help express ourselves. And we need a lot of muscles to be able to do that. How did I find a skull in good condition while hiking? I got lucky, to be honest.
Yes.
It was just on the ground. I was like, oh yeah, I'll take this home, and I cleaned it up. I like scrubbed it with some hydrogen peroxide and everything. And I can probably get through one or two more of these models before we got to wrap up here. This here is your circulatory system. So you see your heart in the very center. That is what pumps blood. And all of these are your veins and your arteries that pump all the way around your body. And you see, it's kind of like the outline of the body because it has to get blood to everywhere around your body. And hopefully at the Franklin Institute today, we get to see the giant model of the heart. They'll get into that a little bit more.
Wait, so, excuse me, I somehow missed that. These are the blood vessels?
Yep, that's your heart and all of your blood vessels going through it. Also going to the head, you see there is a lot of blood that goes to the brain because you got some very large, thick blood vessels there. Your brain needs a lot of blood because your brain uses a lot of energy. You think a lot. The brain uses something like 20-ish% of all of the energy in your body. I can have Dexter come back in between. And these are your lungs. Your lungs are not actually like empty like a balloon is, so you might think, but they're actually filled with a series of tubes and tiny little sacs that fill with air. And then this right here is your voice box. So right up here If it compresses it a certain way, that allows you to talk and make noise and sing if you are inclined to sing. Interestingly enough, you say they look like tiny trees. I always thought they look like broccoli, which is funny because the actual term for this is bronchioli. And the tiny sacs at the end of it are alveoli, not to be confused with tiny sacs that you fill with meat or cheese. That is ravioli.
I'm
I
hungry.
always thought the naming of this was funny. And this one here has a lot going on. This is your digestive system. So food is going to start at the mouth. What do we do next? We swallow that food. It's going to go all the way down into this part right here is the stomach. So you see that tube goes into the stomach where it is going to do a lot of digesting with a lot of strong acids. So yes, Spencer, you gave away the ending.
Yeah.
It is a maze, yes. So another thing I find odd for naming, next it's going to go into this long series of tubes called your small intestine. After your small intestine, it's going to go through this part here, kind of going around the small intestine, called the large intestine. The large intestine is shorter than the small intestine, and I don't know why they named it. It's not as thick, so that's probably why, but I've always been a bit upset about that. And then after the large intestine, it's going to, leave your body. You can probably imagine what that is. I know, scientists are great at naming things. And then here we have everything put together. You can see everything kind of coming in here. All of these systems in your body, your circulatory system, your digestive system, your nervous system, your skeletal system, they all work together to make you a functioning person. So one system starts failing, then we got to do something about that so that you remain healthy. So everything from your brain to your muscles to your heart, they all work together to give you the ability to move, to get energy from your food, to get air so that you can use that energy. And if it's all functioning properly, you'll stay healthy. If not, then you got to see a doctor if one of these organs isn't functioning properly. But that looks like we are out of time, so I want to give you guys a little bit of a break. I hope you enjoyed our presentation of the mind and the body, and I hope you've had a great time at camp. So I look forward to seeing what we have in store for the Franklin Institute.
Hey,
Now that we are done, I will let the door open and we can have a brief moment with the captain and Dexter.
yes, that's why I came today. No, I'm just kidding. I heard that I missed Dexter, so thank you for letting Dexter come on. Just a few things. Mr. Sheik is going to be joining us from the Franklin Institute in just a few minutes, so feel free to stretch, use the restroom, grab some water, and then we will meet back here. You can.
If you're going to have them stretch, you got to do the stretch song, Miss Heather. You got to do the stretch song.
I might not be as good as the stretch song as Mr. Sheik, so we'll give it a try, okay? All right, first thing we got to do, I'm not going to probably sing or anything because you don't hear me sing, but if you want to put your arms out and you want to, first of all, let's stand up. Let's not be lazy here. It's a Friday. Let's really get into it. We're going to stand up. We're going to stretch our arms out like a T, and we're going to move back and forth. All right, now put your arms above your head and act like you're climbing a rope. Can you climb? All right. And now we're going to shake out our arms a little, do some rotations. All right. Now act like you're flying. Be a bird. All right. Now try to touch your toes. Stretch out your back because we've been sitting for almost an hour. All right. Who can touch their toes? I can't. I'm not going to raise my hand. All right, now wiggle out. All right, and I'm not going to do any screaming because I always laugh at Mr. Sheik when he does it, and I'm going to laugh at myself. But if you guys want to make a silly noise, make a silly noise. All right. If anybody wants to grab a snack, we're going to get started in just about 2 minutes. Okay. Just a couple reminders again. if you are going to send in your passport, we would love for you to send it in after every 6 sessions. So I've gotten a whole bunch. I expect to be getting another whole bunch from you guys starting in, next week when we start with a whole bunch of new sessions. I just wanted to say thank you so much to Mr. Cleary. He's been amazing this week. We've learned so many cool things, and he taught you guys a lot of awesome things to take into your holiday weekend.